Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com. With the bye week now on the horizon for the Alabama Crimson Tide, we thought at BamaInsider.com would be a great time to break down the Heisman Trophy race. To provide a better look at the Heisman race, BamaInsider.com designed a scoring system to evaluate each candidate. With all due respect to Taylor, 8 out of the last 9 Heisman Trophy winners have been quarterbacks. Because of that, we had to leave the Wisconsin running back out. Our scoring system was comprised of 10 statistical categories: passer rating, passing touchdowns, passing yards per game, completion percentage, interceptions, rushing yards per game, rushing touchdowns, strength of schedule, average team ranking, and Pro Football Focus grade. The 6 candidates were scored on a range of 1 to 6 in each category, with the leader receiving 6 points, second place receiving 5 points, and so on. When we look back at the 2018 Heisman Trophy presentation, you had Dwayne Haskins of Ohio State, Kyler Murray of Oklahoma, and Tua Tagovailoa of Alabama standing at the podium with Kyler Murray winning the award. It's actually the second time in a row that someone from Oklahoma has won the award. Now, when we look at the current Heisman odds from Vegas, Jalen Hurts, now at Oklahoma, former Alabama quarterback, is currently favored to win the Heisman at plus 260. Tua Tagovailoa and Joe Burrow from LSU right behind him at plus 300. Let's look at the passer rating first of all. Jalen Hurts is currently number 1 in the nation, 249.86. Joe Burrow right behind him, 225.63, followed by Tua Tagovailoa at 225.15. Passing touchdowns, that goes to Tua Tagovailoa. 23 touchdowns on the season. Joe Burrow of LSU, 17, which is tied for number 3 in the nation. Justin Fields has 16. Jalen Hurts has 12. Trevor Lawrence has 8. And Jake Fromm has 6 touchdowns. Now, this category goes to Joe Burrow, passing yards per game, 380 yards per game. Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has 343 yards per game. Jalen Hurts, 323 yards per game. Trevor Lawrence, 226. Justin Fields, 218 per game. Jake Fromm, 197. Now, when we look at completion percentage, Joe Burrow, 80.6, incredible season he's having. Jalen Hurts, 77.6. Tua Tagovailoa, 76.4. Jake Fromm, 75.6. Justin Fields, 69.8. Trevor Lawrence at the bottom, 61.8. Interceptions least thrown, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Fields, Jake Fromm, yet to throw an interception this season. Jalen Hurts has 1, Joe Burrow has 2. Trevor Lawrence, surprisingly, has 5 interceptions this season. He's really struggled early on for the Clemson Tigers. We've seen that from his sophomore season. Now, when we look at rushing yards, Jalen Hurts, 110 yards per game. That's 15th in the country. Justin Fields, 44 yards per game. Trevor Lawrence, 20 yards per game. Tua Tagovailoa, 9 yards per game. Joe Burrow, 5.0 yards per game. Jake Fromm, 3.0 yards per game. When we look at rushing touchdowns, Justin Fields has 7. Jalen Hurts has 5. Trevor Lawrence has 4. Tua Tagovailoa has 2. Joe Burrow, who doesn't do a lot of running, has 1 touchdown. And then Jake Fromm is yet to rush for a touchdown this season. Now, next up, when we look at the strength of schedule, this is very interesting. This is from teamrankings.com. Georgia actually has the 9th toughest schedule in the country, followed by LSU at 10, Ohio State at 12, Alabama at 17, Clemson at 19, and get this, Oklahoma at number 41, 41st toughest schedule in the country. Our next category, average team ranking when we combine the AP and the coaches poll. Alabama at the number 1 spot, Clemson at the number 2 spot, Georgia number 3, Ohio State 4.5, Oklahoma at 5, and then LSU at 5.5. All those teams obviously have something in common, a very good quarterback. Next up, the grades from Pro Football Focus. As you can see, that goes to Joe Burrow, 93.0 overall, Jalen Hurts 92.9, Jake Fromm 92.7, Justin Fields 92.0, and then Tua Tagovailoa at 90.0 flat, with Trevor Lawrence at 75.9. Overall, when you add up the points, it comes out like this. Tua Tagovailoa out on top, 42 points. Jalen Hurts, 40 points. Joe Burrow, 40 points. Justin Fields, 38 points. Jake Fromm, 29 points. And Trevor Lawrence, 24 points. Let us know in the comment box, who do you think will challenge Tua Tagovailoa for the Heisman Trophy? We want to hear from you. Sound off in the comment box. You can read the complete story and the complete breakdown on BamaInsider.com. Reporting from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, this is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com.